Welcome, everyone, to this time-traveling video as we go through the Dutch countryside. Today, we're venturing into three incredibly historic regions in the Netherlands: the rolling hills of South Limburg, the ancient sites of Drenthe and Alkmaar, a landscape dotted with mysterious dolmen, prehistoric burial mounds, and beautiful canals. Our journey begins in South Limburg, a region unlike any other in the Netherlands. Picture this: rolling green hills, narrow winding roads, and endless vistas stretching as far as the eye can see. Unlike the flat plains typical of the Netherlands, South Limburg stands out with its hilly landscape, reminiscent more of Belgium or even France than the Netherlands. This region was formed millions of years ago, back when the sea levels receded and ancient rivers shaped these hills, leaving behind limestone cliffs and caves. If you stroll through towns like Valkenburg, the first thing you notice is how the architecture blends seamlessly with the landscape. Many of the buildings here are constructed from marlstone, a light yellow limestone that was mined right here in South Limburg for centuries. This limestone not only gives the area a distinct aesthetic but also a connection to the distant past, as the stone walls you see were once part of ancient seabeds, packed with fossilized sea creatures from the Jurassic era. To fully embrace the history here, make a visit to the Marl Caves. These aren't just natural caves but have been hand-carved over centuries by miners. Some of the caves contain intricate chalk drawings, many dating back to the Middle Ages, showing everything from mythical animals to religious symbols. The mines even served as hideouts during World War II, and their walls still bear marks and signatures from those who took refuge there. Now, let's travel back even further and head north to Drenthe, a province with its own mystique and history, steeped in prehistoric roots. As we approach the forests and moorlands of Drenthe, we enter a place that feels as if it's been frozen in time. The atmosphere here is calm and ancient, with an almost sacred feel to the landscape. And this feeling is no accident, as Drenthe is home to one of the largest collections of megalithic dolmen in Europe. Dolmen, or hunebedden as the Dutch call them, are ancient burial chambers built by the Funnelbeker people around 5,000 years ago. These structures were constructed using massive boulders, some weighing up to 20 tons. Imagine the dedication and ingenuity required to arrange these stones without modern machinery. Archaeologists believe these dolmen served as collective burial sites, with layers of bones and artifacts like pottery and stone tools found within. Today, 54 of these dolmen remain, scattered across Drenthe, each telling a story of the early societies that thrived here long before written history. Standing before a dolmen in Drenthe is a humbling experience. It's hard to comprehend that these monuments have stood here through storms, changing climates, and countless generations. Imagine the scenes: ancient communities gathering here, performing rituals to honor their ancestors, and carrying out ceremonies at these stone chambers. These people saw the dolmen as a link to the afterlife, a place where the spirits of their loved ones could pass on to the next world. In addition to the dolmen, Drenthe is home to many prehistoric burial mounds. These are humbler in size than the dolmen but no less significant. Scattered across the heathlands, these mounds are the remnants of ancient graves, built up with soil and stones to mark the resting places of individuals and families. In the early days of archaeology, many of these mounds were excavated, and researchers found skeletons, pottery, and tools, revealing glimpses into the daily lives of those who lived here thousands of years ago. These mounds date back to various periods, from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age, showing how people have continuously inhabited Drenthe for millennia. The mounds also hint at an evolving society, as burial customs changed over time, reflecting shifting beliefs about death and the afterlife. Standing at these mounds today, one feels connected to a cycle of life and death that stretches across centuries, bridging us to those distant ancestors. Both South Limburg and Drenthe may be small regions in a small country, but they hold some of the Netherlands' oldest stories. In Limburg, the landscape tells the tale of ancient seas and resilient communities who shaped the hills into the land they loved. In Drenthe, the dolmen and burial mounds are silent witnesses to our ancestors, reminding us of their beliefs, rituals, and the marks they left on the land. Next, we'll explore Alkmaar, starting with its fascinating history, must-see places, and all the activities that make Alkmaar a place you'll want to add to your travel list. To do so, we will first need to step back to the Middle Ages. Established around 900 AD, Alkmaar's name comes from the Old Dutch, Alkmaar, which means all lake, as the area was once a marshland. Over centuries, the land was drained, transforming it into fertile ground that allowed the city to thrive. Alkmaar's early economy revolved around agriculture, trade, and cheese. Yes, cheese. By the 14th century, Alkmaar had established itself as a prominent cheese trading center, a legacy that continues today. One of Alkmaar's most defining historical moments came in 1573 during the 80 Years' War, when the city was besieged by Spanish forces. Against the odds, the people of Alkmaar resisted, using canals and dikes to flood the surrounding fields, which forced the Spanish to retreat. This victory became a turning point in Dutch resistance against Spanish rule and is celebrated every October 8 in a festival known as Alkmaar Ontzet. Even today, the city commemorates the spirit of resistance with parades, music, and events that bring the entire community together. Let's start with Alkmaar's most famous attraction, the cheese market on Waagplein. This market, dating back to 1365, takes place every Friday morning from April to September. You'll see the iconic cheese carriers, dressed in white uniforms and colored hats, skillfully transporting huge wheels of cheese across the square using traditional sleds. The market is a full spectacle, with weigh-ins, auctions, and even demonstrations of cheese tasting. Watching the market unfold feels like stepping into a scene from another era, and it's a perfect introduction to Alkmaar's history. Just next to Waagplein, you'll find the Waag Weighhouse, where cheeses were historically weighed and inspected. Today, this building houses the Dutch Cheese Museum, which provides a fascinating look at the history of cheese making in the Netherlands. From historical tools and techniques to samples of various Dutch cheeses, this museum is a treat for any cheese lover. But Alkmaar isn't only about cheese. The Stedelijk Museum Alkmaar offers an in-depth look at the city's art, culture, and history. The museum's collection spans centuries, giving you a deep understanding of how the city evolved over time. Another must-visit is the Great St. Lawrence Church, known locally as Groot Kerk. This towering Gothic church, built in the 15th century, is an architectural marvel with its beautiful stained glass windows, intricate wood carvings, and vaulted ceilings. Inside, you'll find two historic organs, including one that dates back to the early 17th century and is considered one of the best preserved organs in Europe. During the summer months, the church hosts free organ concerts, an experience that's both breathtaking and spiritual. For those who enjoy the outdoors, the Alkmaar canals offer a relaxing way to explore the city. You can take a canal cruise and float past Alkmaar's picturesque old town, with its gabled houses and narrow bridges. If you prefer a more active way to see the sights, consider renting a bike. Alkmaar is a bike-friendly city, and there are several scenic cycling routes that will take you from the historic city center into the beautiful surrounding countryside. Alkmaar has a variety of accommodation options, from boutique hotels to cozy bed and breakfasts. If you want to stay in the heart of history, consider Grand Hotel Alkmaar, located in a historic building that dates back to the early 20th century. This hotel combines classic charm with modern comforts and is only a short walk from the cheese market and Stedelijk Museum. For a more modern experience, there's the Golden Tulip Alkmaar, which offers contemporary rooms and a spa for some relaxation after a day of sightseeing. If you're looking for something more personal and local, B&B Oudegracht Alkmaar is a charming bed and breakfast on one of Alkmaar's scenic canals. Staying in a canal house offers a truly authentic Dutch experience, complete with views of Alkmaar's historic rooftops and waterways. Beyond sightseeing, Alkmaar offers a range of activities and events that cater to all interests. For history lovers, Alkmaar Ontzet in early October is a must-see. This celebration commemorates the city's victory over the Spanish in 1573, with parades, concerts, fireworks, and traditional Dutch games. The atmosphere is vibrant, with locals dressed in historical costumes and reenactments of key moments from the siege. It's a wonderful way to experience Dutch patriotism and immerse yourself in local culture. If you're visiting in July, the Keeskapenstad Festival is another fantastic event, turning the city center into a medieval village, complete with actors in period costume, medieval music, and food stalls. It's a fun, family-friendly way to see Alkmaar's streets transformed, giving you a sense of what life might have been like here centuries ago. For a more laid-back day, head to Bergen on Zee, a nearby seaside village about 10 kilometers, 6 miles, from Alkmaar. It's a beautiful stretch of beach where you can unwind, enjoy some local seafood, and take in the sea air. Or, if you're a nature lover, Schorl Dunes offers some of the tallest and most stunning sand dunes in the Netherlands, with trails for hiking and biking. Of course, no trip to Alkmaar would be complete without a bit of shopping. The city is filled with charming boutiques, artisan shops, and vintage stores, especially in the Old Town. Lot and Langestraat are two of Alkmaar's main shopping streets, where you can find everything from local crafts to high-end fashion. Alkmaar truly offers a little bit of everything, from history and culture to outdoor adventure and relaxation. Whether you're here to watch the cheese market, explore medieval architecture, or simply soak up the Dutch ambiance along the canals, Alkmaar is a destination that charms you from the moment you arrive. It's a place where the past meets the present, making every experience a bit like stepping back in time, with each cobblestone, canal, and cheese wheel telling a story. So, whether you're looking to marvel at ancient history, savor traditional foods, or simply enjoy breathtaking landscapes, these regions offer something special. From the scenic hills of South Limburg to the ancient dolmen of Drenthe, and the charming cheese markets of Alkmaar, this journey gives you a deep sense of the Netherlands' rich and layered history. The beauty of this country is that, even as it embraces modernity, it preserves and celebrates its past, connecting us to traditions that span thousands of years. Thank you for joining me as I continue to go through the Netherlands. Subscribe to my channel and stay tuned as I will be exploring different countries around the world in upcoming videos.